There are some other methods, important method from your exam point of view. They are find and replace method, and it's also a very common programming task. You use it very often in Microsoft Word. You search for a word, right? And then sometimes you want to replace it with another word, okay? And you do it on your program as well. So most commonly tasks that the students do is like generate a code from GPT and search for a variable and replace the variable name with their own name, just to make it look like their own generated code. But nowadays, editors are smart enough to find out whether it's a copied or not. By the way, Zybooks has that functionality to see whether you're copying code from someone else, and even if you're changing the variable names. All right, so this is what it does. It's a find and replace method. So recall that I mentioned strings are immutable. Okay, immutable means, what are immutable? Like lists are mutable, which means that any particular element in a list we can change. We can modify, we can delete, we can rewrite something else at that particular index value, but we cannot do it on a string. So for example, if I have a string, let's say hello, I cannot go to this particular index, for example, L, which is 0, 1, 2. I cannot go here and I cannot assign it a different value because strings are immutable. This operation is not allowed. If you want to reassign it, so what you can do is you can create a new string with the same variable and whatever value you want to change. So it will be assigned, the entire new string will be assigned to the same variable. Okay. However, we have replace method that provides much simpler way to replace old occurrences of a string with a new one. It only allows us to replace, not to delete. So syntax is replace. You specify the old string that you want to replace, and then after comma, you specify the new string that you want to replace the old string with. Okay. There is another variation of this method. You can also specify the number of counts, like how many number of occurrences of old string you want to replace with the new one. Okay. But this count is an optional. If you do not specify, it will replace all occurrences. Okay. Let's take an example here for this method. So we have a string. Yukon has Stanford, Storrs, Hartford, Waterbury, Avery Point campuses, and what we want is to run a replace method on this string which contains this value, and we want to replace comma with a forward slash. And when you see the updated string would be Stanford, Storrs, Hartford, Waterbury, Avery Point campus. All commas are replaced with forward slashes. So yeah. Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. So it's a very common question that students ask. So there are not two commas, there's only one comma. So first of all, you are using replace method. You need to specify what you want to replace. Okay? You want to replace comma with forward slash. Okay? That's why you see two commas. So there are two different things. Okay? But this is a very common question. I get it every semester. The next is replace old new count. And this time I'm specifying that I want to replace the first two occurrences of comma. And you can see here the first two occurrences of comma are replaced while the others remain the same. Okay, so you can easily, like while I'm discussing this, you can interpret easily what kind of questions you may expect to have in your exam. I can give you this kind of thing, this kind of a string, and you may be asked to like what would be an output, or maybe I can ask like this method replace old string, new string, and if I want to replace first three characters, what should I have a value here, something like that. Okay. Okay, so split method, join method, replace method, and then finding a position of a character is another common task in terms of program development. So there's a method called findX that returns the index of the first occurrence of item X in this string. Okay, if it does not find that X, it returns -1. Now that X can be a single literal character. It could also be a substring, or could be a sentence also. Okay, so let's take an example here. Suppose we have a string hello space Lily and the exclamation mark. So when I run find method, I specify exclamation mark, that's here, exclamation mark, it will return 11 because this exclamation mark is present at 11th index. You can see it each starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This space is also an index value. So 5th is the index where space is placed, and then uppercase L is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this exclamation mark is 11th index. Okay. Now let's look at the next one. We are looking to find a substring. So this time we are looking for finding hell. Okay. I hope you will not find it anyway. but here we are looking for this substring. So this substring is starting from 0th index. Okay, so this is entire string is starting from 0th index. If I would be looking for Lily, it would throw off 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Lily would be starting from 6th index. Okay. So again, I cannot emphasize further that you may expect to have similar kind of thing, and I may ask you like what would be the output index value for such a thing. Okay. Then double L. So in case of searching double L, it will return the index of first occurrence. Okay. So index of first occurrence double L is 0, 1, and 2. Although double L is also present here in Lily, but it will return the occurrence, the index of the first occurrence. Okay. And if you are looking for something which does not exist, it will return -1. So let's say I'm looking for at in this string, it will just return -1. There is another variation of this string. For example, I'm looking for a string. I can also specify where do I want to look into, like which index ranges. Okay, so I can specify the start and the end index. So here, when I specify start value, or optionally I can omit end value also, but I'm looking for LL starting from 5th index. Now it returns me the index 8, which is the occurrence in Lily. Okay, so it starts searching for LL in after the 5th index. Okay, and it finds the LL, the presence of LL at index number 8. Okay, understand? Yep.
How come it's returning 11 instead of 10 if it's not 0?
In case of this one?
Yeah, how come it's returning 11 instead of 10?
Because the index of exclamation mark is 11. Because the indexes starts from 0. So you see this each is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, space is 5th, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this one is 11. Okay? Yep. Any question? Yeah. Sorry, are you talking about this one? Or? Double L, okay. Yes, it says the first occurrences. So if we do not specify a range where we are looking for, so it by default starts looking for the string from the 0th index, from left to right. Okay, so that is why the first occurrence here is 0, 1, 2. It finds it here, so it will return 2. And then in the bottom, you see I'm looking for LL again, but I'm searching, my search starts from the index number 5. So it is not looking behind. It is starting to search from this index and then so on. So it will find LL at index number 8. Okay? Yep.
I didn't understand the hell is one. Why is it 0?
Because hell is starting from this entire, so it is looking for the entire string. Entire string starts from 0th index. So either this is also a string and this is also a string. Okay? So it looks for where the string is starting from. Yep. So for example, if I look for the entire word hello, so if I replace double L with hello and it starts looking from 5, what will I get? It will return -1. Okay? So again, I'm looking for hello, which appears to be present in this string that I'm searching for, but I specify to start searching from index number 5. Okay? So it will return -1. So I have a different example here. Like I'm looking for Lily in this one. When you look at something like this in exam, you will see, oh, Lily is present there. And but however, I'm searching for Lily within this range, 0 to 5. So there is no Lily between this range of indexes. So it will return -1. Okay? Okay, so there is another method called rfind method. So rfind method, how rfind works is it actually start searching in a reverse direction, but it reads it in the forward direction. So for example, if I run the same thing like this, let's say I have str dot find and I'm looking for ll and starting from not starting from anywhere. So what do you think will it return? You already have the answer in front of you. It returns 2, right? But if I replace it with rfind, now this time it will return, so this is here. So it will return 8, okay? Because it is searching in the reverse direction, but reading the string in the forward direction. So this entire double L starts from the index number 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this double L is starting from index value 8. So you need to pay attention. You need to be very careful while you're reading the instruction. There's only a small difference with R and find. Okay? And you will see on options like in front of you, it could be 2, it could be 8, or anything. So there is a very slight sleek line between the correct and the wrong answer. You should be able to answer as long as you understand how it works. Any other question? Okay. And I think I already covered this slide, yes. So methods are useful if exact location is required, okay? Because find and rfind method helps us find the exact location. But if you just need to find out whether something is a part of a container, then you just use the in operator. Just like for in, we have been using the for loop with the in the list, okay?